Awesome out in the bush. You can hear the woodland kingfishers calling still. I'm sure the odd francolin will start calling just now. The evening settling slowly around us. The night is coming. Have a look there. Getting excited there. Patty's saying she could see the other cub. I think, Pete, what we're looking at is that
that lump maybe. Yeah.
Either that lump or that patch of lichens. One of those two.
It would be nice if she was right.
Yeah, it would have been awesome. I've been really looking through all the branches on the tree trying to spot the cub. I haven't yet. But I think it's either that bump or the lichens that gives that illusion. What's interesting, I would have actually expected the cub to hide out in the tree rather than in the bushes, but obviously not. Unless also I have actually climbed this tree quite high up. There is a couple of big hollows in the forks here closer down to the base. There could actually be a cub in one of those hollows. That's also not impossible, but I've got a feeling they might even not be here. Guys, will keep looking, but I can close to promise you there's no cubs up in the tree unless they're in a hollow. Joy's just wondering if the cubs will stay put when and where Karula leaves them. Pretty much, it's only when they get older, sort of from a year onwards, when they get physically bigger and more confident, that they will actually play around relative to where she leaves them. The first 6 months or so, pretty much they stay exactly where she leaves them. Unless something, of course, comes along and they have to evacuate suddenly, climb up a tree or something like that. But even then, normally the place they get left will be a good den site, somewhere that they can hide in a hole or up in a tree. He's getting more comfortable. In terms of the size, I believe the question is just sort of give you a size perspective, it's difficult to judge when she's up there. Like I said, weight-wise, I'm looking at probably around 60 pounds, a little bit less or more. In terms of length, nose to tail tip, I'm going to have to guess this roughly, but I'd say about 2 meters, 7 foot maybe. In her case, big male maybe 2.5 meters, that would be about 9 foot. And shoulder height for her, again, we'll have to sort of estimate, compared to when she walks past us. 2 feet at the most, a little bit less even. 55 centimeters or so at the shoulder. That would be an estimate. We're going to sit here for a few minutes more. It does seem like she's going to be sleeping most of it. So we might just do a last loop around, see what else we might find. But a few questions there. First is, how often leopard eat? It depends. I mean, obviously if there's lots of food around, they will catch whenever and however they can, and occasionally even more than one prey at a time, or one carcass at a time. But on average, you could sort of say like a big impala like this will last a leopard 2 days, and then they could go easily 3, 4 days, 5, 6, 7 days even without eating again. But on average you would say that within 2 to 4 nights, 5 nights maybe, after eating, a leopard would hunt again, maybe then feed for a day or two. So on average once a week I would say a big kill, maybe slightly more, maybe make it sort of 5 times a month. But they would also substitute sometimes smaller things in between. It's not impossible for them to catch a little bird or a squirrel or something like that. Christopher was just asking, I get my questions mixed up now. I think just what distances Karula would likely move from where she leaves the cubs. It depends again, it depends on the size of the territory as well. In other words, other leopard in other areas would behave differently because of the resources available and the large or the size of their areas. But around here, Karula could move anything up to about 3-4 kilometers maybe from where the cubs might be hidden. Not really much further than that. Obviously then she'll go and fetch them again. But she could also hunt within a few hundred yards of where the cubs are, but typically not too close to them. And Lisha, sorry, help me out. I got the questions mixed up. There was one more.
She's not coming over that side. Just tell the papa, please.